Good morning, everyone. Dear student, in last lecture, we also discussed about Prime Minister and Council of Minister. In last lecture, we also know about in our country, PM also need the help of different departments. So we also know about these ministers known as per Cabinet Minister, Minister of State with independent in charge, Minister of State also means Deputy Minister. And we also discuss about Prime Minister, power and function of Prime Minister. In today's lecture, we also discuss about President, election procedure of the President of India. While the Prime Minister is the head of government, the President is the head of state. We also aware about. Government head is the Prime Minister because Prime Minister is a directly elected by peoples. And second, president is the head of nation. The president of India not elected directly by the peoples. In our country, we also aware about president also elected, but indirectly way. इसको हम डायरेक्ट इलेक्ट नहीं करते, इनडायरेक्ट तरीके से इलेक्ट किया जाता है. All the member of parliament, both houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and the members of assemblies, state assemblies, MLAs elected him. For example, we also aware about in Lok Sabha, 545 member in Lok Sabha, 250 member in Rajya Sabha. So 545 and 250 and state assembly members, MLAs also elect प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया. वो सभी वोट करेंगे तब वो इलेक्ट होगा. ए कैंडिडेट स्टैंडिंग फॉर द पोस्ट ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट हैज टू गेट मेजॉरिटी ऑफ वोट टू विन द इलेक्शन. जिसको ज्यादा वोट मिलेगा, सो दिस पर्सन आल्सो इलेक्टेड एज द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया. This ensure that the president of India can be seen to present the entire nation, because we are also aware about president of India is the first person of nation. So we also aware about in our country, in our political system, the head of state exercise only nominal power. जो president है वो सिर्फ एक nominal head है. Actual power not in the hand of president of India. Maximum power used by prime minister. The president of India is like the queen of Britain, whose two functioning are the large extent ceremonial. कि वो जैसे इंग्लैंड की महारानी है, वो इंडिया के प्रेसिडेंट उसी तरीके से काम करेंगे. We also aware about president according to name is the most powerful person, but according to power is just nominal head. So power of the president of India in our country, the president of India is the head of state. State means nation. वो पूरे देश के head है, first person of our country. He exercise only nominal power. He is like to the Queen of Britain, whose functioning are to the large extent ceremonial. जैसे ब्रिटेन है ऐसे ही इंडिया में president का वर्क है. The president supervise the overall functioning of the all the political institution. Indian president also function just look like as a supervisor to control different political institution. Like we also aware about in last phase, we also discuss about different institution means Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, judiciary also. So finally authority is the president. President also watch the working system of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and judiciary also. All the government activities take place in the name of the president. We also aware about if Indian government also want to make any new law, of course pass in both house and finally go to president for final signature. So any law make in our country with the name of president. कंट्री में कोई भी गवर्नमेंट एक्टिविटी होगी वो प्रेसिडेंट के नेम के अकॉर्डिंग ही किया जाएगा. All law and the major policy decision of the government are issued इन हिज और हर नेम. उसी के नाम से ही हमारे यहाँ पे जितने भी रूल रेगुलेशन बनेंगे, लॉज बनेंगे, उन्हीं के नाम पे किया जाएगा. All the major appointment are made in the name of the president. These include the appointment of Chief Justice of India. Student, we also aware about in our country, president also appoint the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. but Chief Justice of Supreme Court also appointed with the advice of Prime Minister and consult department. And Indian President also appointed the judges of another high courts. President also appointed the governor of state. We also aware about different governor also appointed, and this governor also responsible for the President of India. So we also aware about governor also appointed by President of India, but again with the advice of Prime Minister. And we also aware about the election commissioner, ambassador to other countries, etc. They are also appointed by President of India. Election commissioner, we also aware about play important role to conduct election in our country. So election commissioner also appointed by President of India, but again with the advice of Prime Minister. Ambassador, we also know about ambassador also play important role of foreign policies. They also appointed in different part of world, and this ambassador also appointed by President of India. So major appointment in our country appointed by according to President. All the international treaties and agreements are made in the name of President. We also aware about Indian president also play important role in any international treaty. जो भी विदेशों के साथ समझौते होते हैं with the name of President of India, and any agreement. We also aware about any agreement between two countries again made in the name of president. वो भी president के name से ही होगा. Of course, government also play important role in these kind of international treaties and agreement. But final authority is the President of India. वो उसी के signature से finalize किया जाएगा. The President is the supreme commander of the defense force of India. We also aware about in our country, head of defense system is the President of India. Final authority is the President of India. So we also aware about in our country, President is the supreme commander of defense. War declared by President of India, and peace also declared by with the name of President of India. And we also aware about in our country, if government also want to declare emergency, so emergency also declared by President of India with the consult of government. So in our country, President also play important role. But this role is not to be his actual power, because most of work according to advice of Prime Minister and government. Limitation of the power of President. The President is the head of the state and not the head of the government. Again, we are also aware about in our country, President is the head of state. State means nation, not a head of government. And in our country, government is the final authority, because government also run by representative, and representative also again directly elected by peoples. वो directly elected होते हैं. Therefore, the exercise only nominal power, and that too on to the advice of the Council of Minister. इसीलिए इंडिया में प्रेसिडेंट एक नॉमिनल हेड है, नाम मात्र का काम करता है, नाम मात्र की पावर है, एंड ही आल्सो डू वर्क अकॉर्डिंग टू एडवाइस ऑफ काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर. काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर गवर्नमेंट के एडवाइस पे काम करेगा. द प्रेसिडेंट कैन आस्क द काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर टू reconsider its advice, but if the same advice is given again, he and she is bound to act according to it. We are also aware about president do work as an advisor, and we are also aware about if council of ministers also want to pass any rule and regulations, and finally they also send to the president. President also just give his advice. उसको reconsider करने के लिए अपनी advice दे सकता है, but if same bill and policies sent again to President of India, so President of India is be bound to act according to it. Finally वो bound होता है उसके ऊपर साइन करने के लिए, अगर वो माने या न माने, but it's be compulsory. Finally, President of India also signed on this bill and any law. A bill passed by the parliament, because a law only after the president given the assent to it. हमें पता है कि final authority president है. कोई भी बिल जब पास होता है पार्लियामेंट में, if the president want, he and she can be delayed this for some time and send to bill back to the parliament for reconsideration. But if the parliament pass the bill again, he and she to be signed it. Again, we also aware about, and I am also given to one of example during the time of Abdul Kalam. During the time of Abdul Kalam presidency, at this time, member of parliament also want to increase their salaries, their expenses also. So they also pass a bill and they send to the president of India. And president of India also note signature and resend again to parliament for some recommendation. Change करने के लिए उन्होंने उसको suggest किया है, but they again recommended some change also, but again sent to the president of India, again rejected by president of India. Now third time also sent to the president and president again returned to parliament. फिर से parliament को return कर दिया. President of India not sign on this bill, but in our country there are a provision if president also rejected any bill for 3 times. So according to provision, parliament also call a common session and pass any bill. And finally, president also bound to sign on this kind of any bill, any law. So fourth time उन्होंने एक कॉमन सेशन ऑर्गेनाइज किया है, उसमें बिल को पास किया गया और फाइनली प्रेसिडेंट के पास भेज दिया गया और प्रेसिडेंट ने उसके ऊपर साइन किया. सो इन अवर कंट्री, प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया जस्ट एज ए nominal head, actual power in the hand of elected representative. So we also know about some differences between American president system and Indian president system also. So American president system differences presidential and parliamentary system. The president of United States is the head of the state and the government, both. He also head of state, nation and government also. He is directly elected by the peoples, because in America, president also directly elected by peoples. In our country, president not directly elected by peoples, is be indirectly elected. वो indirectly elected है. He personally choose they appoint the minister. Finally, after the electing, he also choose their ministers. वो अपने minister को choose करता है. But in our country, minister also choose by prime minister. President just appoint him and allot the different department. The legislature making the law. In America, Congress also make different law. Congress means legislature bodies, but the president can to veto any law. But final authority in the hand of president. President उसको रोक सकता according to veto power. The president does not need to the support of the majority of the member and he is not answerable to them. In America, president not answerable to the member of legislature, Congress. He has a fixed period of the 4-year end, compete to the even if his party does not have the majority in the Congress. In America, president also elected for 4 years. He also completed his time. This model followed to the most of Latin America and many of the ex-Soviet Union countries. This system also adopted by many Latin American countries and Soviet countries, Soviet Union also, especially in Russian countries also. Given the centralized to the president, this system is called to the presidential form of government. So in America, this system also called a presidential form of government. कि वहां पे जो actual power है वो president के हाथ में है, prime minister के पास कोई भी power ऐसी नहीं है. But in India, that follow British model, the parliament is supreme and the system is called parliamentary system of government. But in our country, our government, according to the constitution, we adopt a method of British model. And according to British model is the parliament system of government. So in our country, elected government is the more powerful. Parliament is the more powerful than to the president. In our country, president just do work, look like as the Queen of England. And when and how does the president exercise his directions? When a party is coalition of the party get a clear majority in the election, the president has to appoint the leader of the majority party or the coalition that enjoy the majority support in the Lok Sabha. हम सभी को पता है प्रेसिडेंट प्राइम मिनिस्टर को अपॉइंट करता है, वो कैसे किया जाएगा? जिसकी पार्टी को मेजोरिटी मिलेगा और कोलिशन गवर्नमेंट जो सहयोग से बनती है, they also appoint the prime minister and president also appoint the prime minister and they also enjoy this spot of Lok Sabha. When no party or coalition get a majority in Lok Sabha, the president exercises direction. We also aware about when no political party get clear-cut majority and no coalition government, no coalition of another political parties also get clear-cut majority. So at this time, president also take his action. वो अपने तरीके से काम करेगा. President appoint a leader who is who in his opinion can to be master majority support in the Lok Sabha. And president also appoint to any leaders, top leader in different political party. Those political party have maximum seat, but not clear-cut majority. So president also appoint the leader of this political party as the prime minister. In such case, the president can ask to newly appointed to prove majority in the Lok Sabha within a specified time. And president of India also give the specified time to elected prime minister, appointed prime minister, is prove his majority within specified time. In 1998, President of India also appointed Atal Bihari Vajpayee as the Prime Minister of India because at this time, no political party get clear-cut majority. So maximum seat in favor of Bharatiya Janata Party. But Bharatiya Janata Party have no clear-cut majority. ज्यादा सीटें हैं बट मेजोरिटी में नहीं है. So at this time, President also appointed Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the Prime Minister of India, and President of India also give 13 days to prove his majority in Lok Sabha. 13 days उनको दिया गया था majority को prove करने का, but Atal Bihari Vajpayee and his political party not prove his majority in parliament and government also dissolved within 13 days. 13 दिन में government फिर से dissolve हो गया. Again election also conducted in our country. So remaining part we continue in next lecture. Thank you.